Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? Good morning, Royal Palms. Good morning, Zello. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Holy Holy. PPI was hot today. Good morning, Yogi. Good morning, Balaji. Good morning, Tony. What else did I miss? Thank you for putting in some earnings. Autodesk was a beat, stock up 1%. Intuit, beat, stock down 3.5. XYZ was in line to beat, stock up 16. That's because they announced 40% layoffs. 40% of the companies getting axed. So it went up it went up pretty big yesterday. Rocket companies beat, stock up 4.67. Dell computers beat, stock up 11.56. What else is going on? We have more circular AI deals with Amazon and OpenAI. PPI numbers this morning coming in hot, coming in actual 0.5% for the month of January versus consensus of 0.3. Core coming in at 0.8% versus a consensus of 0.3. Year over year, 3.6% for the core and 2.9% for the headline number. Other stuff today, Chicago PMI coming out 15 minutes after the cash open. You got construction uh, and rig counts, but not much else to talk about. So, going to be a quick live stream this morning. I got a lot of stuff to deal with, especially with a workman showing up just in a few minutes. Good morning, Anissa. You can see semiconductors are down. You have Dell because earnings up 11.5 for it. Everything else is down. Netflix breaking up with Warner Brothers Discovery. So rallying on that. That deal fell through. So there we go with that. That's the rally there. Going to be watching to see if that can hold the prior resistance becoming support level or if it falls back down. We have oils going to new recent highs, breaking out above the highs from a few days ago, and oil stocks are running consumer defensive. Also, you see the rotation into there because it looks like so far it is a nice little risk off day, but not a lot of rotation in consumer defensive. You got energy leading the way, up 117 basis points, and technology and financial heading on down. Fed watch, let's just do a quick refresh of this since new stuff came out. We have 96.1 for a pause in March, 80% for a pause in April, and 50% for a pause in June. Fear and greed, back into fear mode. Schiller PE still above 40. Sterling did cover all the earnings from yesterday afternoon. So there wasn't much going on this morning. So that is done and dusted. Good morning, Heinrich. All right. So again, we got up here to the right by that most recent 87.5 on Wednesday, reversing on Thursday, falling through key support, actually then bouncing back into the close between the 50, and I'm looking at these harmonics. I'm going to get these ones between the 50 and the 62.5. Bouncing in there into the close and then gapping down, a little bounce overnight, and then heading back down to key support 68.50. We break below 68.50. I'm looking to about 68.31 to 68.39. If we take that out, I'm going 68.15 for the round trip to 87.5 to the downside. To the upside, going to be looking at yesterday's low. There was a pretty key area right around yesterday's low, right around 68.71. Above that, if it does get some bounce, then my next very key level is about the 68.87.8 to about 68.90 area. So that's what we're looking at there. Hello, Charles. So, but overall, still we got the rounded top formation. We keep making lower highs still in. So it's going to be interesting to see. It was also compressing. We got the VIX. By the way, I'm just jumping to VIX real quick. We got the VIX that held the trend line yesterday. held the trend line yesterday and well up today. We've got the NASDAQ. I'll remember it did not trigger the double. It confirmed it, but did not trigger it. We're back below. Yesterday, we bounced right down to that 50% harmonic. We're just below that now. So in any rally, 24,867 area, and then major resistance now is coming in just above 25K, 25,030 roughly. Very key support is coming in around this 24,710 to 24,767 area. There's a very key support. We start breaking below the 62.5 harmonic here. Then I'm looking down closer to 24,550 area. And then if disaster struck or next week, early next week or Sunday night, 24,396. So 24,400 if this sell-off were to continue. Okay, that's what we're looking at there. In terms of the Dow, rotating back down, back below the 50 again, but key support is 48.8. We break down before 48.8. We were at 48, about 550, then 48,300. To the upside, just bumping up this level slightly to right around 49,430, 49,425. And then the major resistance is 49.7. The Russell just moving below this 2642 key support level. If we continue lower, 2620 is the very major support area. All right, on a rally in the Russell, going to be looking closer to right around 2660. Again, we're caught in consolidation. I'm fully in neutral mode unless we break some of these very key support levels or we have momentum breakdown. Again, I'm not going to be able to get into a lot of stuff today. The 10-year shrugging off the PPI almost round tripped to the 87.5 after closing back below the 62. Little bounce to rotation zone and back down. The potential double bottoms off the table. So coming into a very key support area. Very key support area down here. So we'll be looking to see if we get a bottoming formation. Gold, potential double top. This move has taken out anyways, but it extended too far. The count off extended beyond 11 bars from this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So done before even the rally. But the rally secured it. It's done. So when we're still, by the way, that was as we talked about, only at pullback levels, but we're still in with the next price of 53.25, 53.26, and then potentially 54.76. The silver hit the 50% retracement harmonic from the sell-off, from the highs to the low, and the first target on the steep neckline, inverse head and shoulders. So that is done. Next target's 99.05, so 99, and then potentially 105. We'll have to see about that. There's major, the 62.5 is at this 100.08. So I'm really focused on the second target and the 62.5. Crude, moving on up. Again, the next magnet price is 68.57. Yesterday, we had a really nice, on the sell-off into the rotation zone, we got a really nice percent B buy bar, falling through, a little pullback again, and then the move higher. And then it technically today would trigger a percent B buy, but the horse is already out. And that's only if it closes above yesterday's high, but you had to enter well before that. Good morning, Ted. Dollar index, a whole bunch of nowhere in consolidation. Not much to talk about there. The Bitcoin, still the daily rotation zone holding. This extended double is now just way too messy, so I've taken off the table. If we do rally on a weekly basis, I'll just be looking for a potential move to 8 EMA. What else do we have? We have the spiders. Again, big gap down. I'm going to be watching yesterday's lows on the rally 684.35 to the gap fill. If we got some really strong rally out of nowhere, would be 68 689.30. Very key support level is between 681.85 is first 681.85 area, which was the opening price for Tuesday. And you can see the little support base right there. Below that, we're about 680.22 in massive consolidation still. The Qs, big gap down here. Yesterday's low being 603.98. We're opening at 603.60 area. So that's the first level of resistance. Above there, it would be the prior resistance level and then to the gap fill. The gap fill would be to 609.24. There's so resistance level right around 609. Key support is coming in at 599.23 to 600 is a key support area on a sell-off. You could play it intraday. You just have to manage it real closely, Charles. You could definitely do 0-day options on that. No, you're leaving early but forming a NASDAQ monthly double top. Let me just get through the IWM. Again, the gap down, paying attention to this on a rally. Yesterday's low. We're just opening slightly below that. And above that is 263.30 areas of key resistance. It would need a massive rally to fill the gap, but because before that, that's 264.60. And then for the full gap fill would be 265.01. Doubt that would ever happen today unless something shocking came out. Very key support is right around 260 to 260.40. A massive monthly double. Well, you can see it here on the weekly. We still have there's a weekly double top. We've already talked about that. Holy. If the NASDAQ, this is not invalidated at all. We have the clearly weekly double top. It would still need a close on a weekly basis below 23,904.50, which is right around the area of the 50-week moving average. So if we lose this, it could get very interesting. Because also remember the daily is right at that level too. It's actually just above that level. So we could potentially lose. Now I'm still watching for this to reconnect with the daily that's rising, but if we lose this key area here, it is a massive pattern. Hey Christoph, I'm watching Dash. It has a massive triggered weekly upward sloping neckline, head and shoulders, and a potential double bottom that could return it to the neckline area for a longer term short play. And then I have to run. I'm sorry, it's a quicker day. A weekly upward sloping neckline. Looking. Oh, it's got a weekly massive head and shoulders. That's what you're talking about here. And if you're doing the upward sloping neckline that's triggered, it's that. That's the one you're talking about that's triggered. And on the daily, you got a little daily double bottom that has not triggered yet. So that is exactly what you're looking at, Sterling. There you go. There you go. DoorDash still not cheap. Not cheap. Missed earnings, missed revenue, and still trading at a PE of 81. So, all right. Again, that's sorry I have to run today. Hopefully, the live stream will go off on Monday without any problems. We shall see. I will put on the X/Twitter feed if something's happening on Monday. I'm gonna have to relocate my office into a bedroom because all the floors are getting ripped up. So, except for the bedroom floors. So we will see. We will see how that goes. With that, I shall talk to everyone. Oh, also remember today is the final trading day of February. So we could still see some interesting moves. It's not quarter, it's just a monthly end, but we can still see some interesting moves. Thank you, Holy. I really appreciate that. With that, I will talk to everyone next week. Bye for now.